Well, I want to thank all of you people for coming out tonight. I know Duncan would truly be honored to see all of you here as we fulfill one of his last requests, to have his guitar placed here in the showcase here at the Salisbury House. I've known Duncan for the better part of my life, and I want you to know that when I say better, I mean better. But when Joey said it, and I said it, for those of you who knew Duncan like I knew Duncan, you didn't know Duncan, you experienced Duncan. And I'm just happy to be here tonight to experience this event. It is a great privilege for me. For those of you who don't know, this showcase here is in the perfect location because Duncan grew up just a stone's throw from here on Hector Bay. He lived there with his mother and his father and his brother Danny and a horde of guys that would collect in the basement once a week and make a lot of noise. Those guys were the Mongrels. And we were kept cooped up there until one day when, as Duncan said, we got a gift. We got something called Randy's Rejects. Randy's Rejects were all of the songs that the Guess Who didn't want, and Randy brought them to us. And because of that, we, the Mongrels, were able to emerge from the darkness of the basement of Duncan's house and join what has become one of the greatest decades here in Winnipeg and maybe in music history, the 1960s. And it was wonderful for us to get that experience. And this location also here is very good for Duncan and myself because when I met Duncan, we were both going to Grant Park High School just over there. And although we were there a lot, we found that on other occasions we might be here at the Salisbury House, over indulging in some cheeseburgers, french fries, and milkshakes, and dreaming of the days when Joey and I and Duncan would be out there living the life, the dream of being a rock and roll star. And it was great. But, you know, Duncan, as he's inducted tonight here into this, he will say to you that all of the people that are here didn't make this journey on their own. That in fact, this hotbed of music in this end of the city consisted of a lot of other people. Well, down the road, as you know, Neil Young was growing up on Grosvenor. But what you might not know is that his bandmates, Alan Bates and Ken Smythe, went to Grant Park High School. John Nikon, who's sitting back there somewhere, who was part of the Mongrels. John, wave your hand. Say hi to everyone. John went to Grant Park High School. Lorne Safer, who was our manager and is Burton's manager, and has some interest in here, I'm not exactly sure. He went to Grant Park High School. As did, there was a couple of other people that would have gone there. There would have been your Derek Blake from the Debrons, went to Grant Park High School. And someone else you might know, Ralph James, who was with Harlequin. He went to Grant Park High School. And while all of that was going on, Joey and the members of the Mongrels were growing up just north of here in Crescentwood. So that there is a connection here. And then the Sugar and Spice, who many of you have heard and would have been to their dances, we're also in the Crescentwood area. The Murphy sisters grew up just down the block from Mr. Neil Young. And so that this was a real hotbed of music for us. And it is great that Duncan is going to be able to be remembered. I'm going to check for I'm losing my mind here. I find that a lot of times when I get talking about Duncan, that it's kind of sentimental for me, and I just want to say that I know Duncan would be so pleased that all of you people would have come tonight. And I know Duncan would be most pleased to have his family here with him. Over the course of the last few months that I was talking to Duncan, I learned just how much and how important his family was to him, and he's so glad to have you here tonight, all of you. I had a chance to talk to Alan Schick, who was in Toronto and wanted very much to be here tonight, but he was unable to be here, but he wanted me to express his words, and I'd like to read them rather than give them by memory. Alan said, Duncan was an all-round musician, the glue that kept us together. But more than that, I really want to say that I love the guy. And I thought to myself, he didn't say, I love the guy. He said, I love the guy. And I thought, he's feeling the same thing that I'm feeling, that although Duncan has left us in body, he hasn't left us in spirit. There isn't a day when I don't think about him. There isn't a day when I don't meet somebody who wants to talk about him. And it's like he's not gone. Duncan left me with very, very fond memories. And he also left me with some advice just before he left us here. And that advice I'd like to share with you. Duncan said to me, always follow your dreams, embrace the people in and around your life, don't wait until tomorrow to tell someone how you feel about them, especially your family and friends. Hug your wife, your kids, your pets, and the one that got me, don't put off reunions, especially with your old bandmates. Music may last forever, but musicians won't. I'd like to thank the Barishes and the Salisbury House for hosting this event tonight. Thomas Wolfe wrote, "You can't go home again," but I think tonight proves that we can. I think Duncan is home. And I hope that this will continue to become a home for Manitoba musicians of all genres. A place where the musicians can come, invite their friends in to play, and a place where the world can come to hear them and hear about them. I know that every time that I walk through that door, look over here at Duncan's guitar and his picture, I'll feel like I'm home. I'll be home with Duncan. Thank you very much.